Hello, so I thought I'd make a video on the new US M111 Grenade that they're putting into service. Now, this isn't to replace the M67 Grenade, it's to be used in conjunction with it. But the problem is, this is one of those things that since the news has come out on this, most of the videos on YouTube are all AI crap that don't actually explain why they're doing it. So I'll put some pictures up of the actual grenades in question, but I can sort of demonstrate here using these grenades as stand-ins. So let's say and we're talking about a frag grenade like the M67. We'll use this Soviet F1 as a comparison. And when we're on about this new HE grenade, the M111, we're going to use this British number 69 grenade as a comparison. So how they kill works very differently, and this is why the new grenade's coming into service, because of how it kills people. And specifically so you don't friendly fire your own men. So frag grenade like the US M67 grenade or the Soviet F1. The F1 is kind of a bad example because of how stupidly lethal it is as a frag grenade, but most frag grenades have a kill radius of about 10-15 meters. This thing's are like 30 to 100 meters. It's insane because of the sheer amount of explosives that the Soviets packed into this thing. But anyway, the idea with the frag grenades is that obviously when they explode, they send shrapnel flying everywhere around the grenade, and that punctures people, and that's how it kills them. It's like little bullets flying everywhere. And the problem is that basically if you're using a grenade like this indoors, you have quite a lot of problems. So basically if we say we're in a room like this, let's say I'm throwing it through a doorway into another room. In a house like this where the walls are made of very thin like plasterboard material, if I was to throw this into the next door room, and I'm taking cover behind a wall on my side of the doorway, the shrapnel could easily rip through the wall and kill me anyway, and that's part of the reason why the US is not replacing the M67, but basically saying we need something else to use for room clearing. You know, be used in conjunction depending on the type of room and the walls involved and everything like that. Because I might throw this into a room, it could explode and shrapnel could come back and hit me or teammates. But if the person in that room is stood behind, say, a metal desk or something, the shrapnel might actually be stopped by that. So you might end up in a really bad situation where you throw a grenade through a doorway to clear the room, and basically what ends up happening is that the shrapnel actually wounds more of your men than it does the enemy, and it puts you in an even worse situation than when you started. So the difference is with a high explosive grenade, you chuck this through a doorway, and it kills using something called overpressure, where basically it kills or maims or, disorientates, because what happens is when this explodes, rather than sending shrapnel everywhere, what it does is the explosive force, or the pressure waves, bounce off the wall and keep reflecting back through the room. So as long as you're not stood in the open doorway, most of that explosive force, if it does sort of backdraft out, is going to go just straight. If you're stood, to the right angle of the door, that's the door, say, that way you're stood there, throw it through the door like that, the explosive force is going to come out back like that, and it's not going to actually really hit you, or it's going to be very, very negated by that time. And in theory, unless it's a really high explosive, pressure wave, it's not going to turn the walls into shrapnel and then send them flying back at you. So what's going to happen is basically that explosive force is just going to keep bouncing around inside the room, off of all angles. Think like a ray of light, it would hit one wall, bounce like that, keep bouncing like that sort of thing. So if somebody's even behind a desk that would say stop steal fragments, what would happen is it would bounce off the ceiling and come back down and hit them, or bounce off the ceiling and bounce off a wall. And even if it didn't completely kill them from that overpressure, it's not damaged your own men as it would have done with the other one, and it's going to at least have disorientated the enemy in this room. So when you then go into the room and shoot at people, they're not going to really be shooting back because their eardrums are ruptured or they're just concussed and whatever, if they're not outright dead from the overpressure, bursting eardrums, collapsing the lungs and everything like that. So yeah, the reason for it, like I said, is simply it's not replacing the US, so it's not replacing their frag grenade with an explosive grenade. Both are being used in conjunction for different things. Because like I said, this type of grenade is very good for outright just killing people in most environments. Again, if you were in a room with really thick, like brick and concrete walls, you could probably throw one of these in, no pressure, and it would, no problem, and the pressure and the shrapnel would get people anyway. But the logic is for the US that basically, this grenade is going to be a lot less likely to friendly fire, and I think that's the reason they're specifically stating is basically friendly fire in places like Iraq and Afghanistan, that you might be using it to clear a room. and then, you know, because of very thin walls or something, the shrapnel comes through the wall and kills and wounds your own men, even if it doesn't actually get the people in the room itself. Or if it did, you know, it still caused death and wounding to your own men, which is what you want to completely avoid. So, in some ways, it's like a lethal flashbang, how one of these works. Whereas with the frag grenade, like I said, it's because it's shooting out shrapnel in all directions. So, that's the reason. And again, grenades perform differently underwater as well. So if you were to throw a grenade like this underwater, the shrapnel doesn't actually go that far because the water resistance stops it very quickly. But the actual high explosive grenades, the pressure wave is even more dangerous underwater than it is in standard air. So it's like dynamite fishing, essentially. So yeah, it's like I said, it's to be used in conjunction with the number 67 or M67 grenade. So they're not going away. Like I said, and again, the number 67 or M67 grenade is a very good design. Like I said, hopefully during this video I've popped up some pictures if the editing software allows me to do it properly, and you'll see, like, you know, why you know, how the shrapnel layer would work in, say, a number 67. I'll probably put a picture of another grenade up as well, just to show you kind of shrapnel liners in grenades where they're very obvious. But yeah, the idea of this new grenade is that, basically, to put it simply, to avoid friendly fire, what it's designed to do is kill people by reflecting, or disorientate people by reflecting a pressure wave off of walls to bounce around inside an enclosed room. Rather than send shrapnel flying everywhere that could penetrate walls and, you know, get people. Or it could be, say, you had to clear an apartment in some, you know, thing in some war zone, and you think there's terrorists, say, in one apartment, but there's families living in all the other apartments. If you threw a grenade in like this, it could be that you end up getting lots of bad PR because some of the shrapnel goes through the floors, ceilings, walls, you know, and kills another family with a little kid or something, and then you're in a load of shit with the media. So it's for reasons like that, basically, they're doing it. So hopefully that's explained it. Like I said, this isn't an AI bullshit video with a voice like this saying this is a new grenade, this is why the US is doing it. You know, it's not Stephen Hawking reading it out for you. And hopefully that's actually explained it with some real props.